Ever wonder how to build a drawing that truly stands out? Well, the secret is in the foundation. In this video, we're going to be diving into a crucial but often overlooked stage of art, and that's about building up your foundational layers to create form and values. This tutorial is a preview of my complete tutorial on Patreon, where I show you how mastering these essential steps can make all the difference in your final artwork. By understanding how to create form and values in these early stages, you'll set the stage in these early layers that will give your drawing life and will give it a much greater sense of depth, precision, and a far greater sense of realism. But here's the best part. Even the most complex images are built on these basic principles. If you know what to do, then you'll be able to create works of art that are far beyond what you thought you were capable of. So if you're ready to push the boundaries of what you think you can or cannot do, stick around. You won't want to miss this. So the next stage we're going to do is called big form modeling. And what that means is to establish the large forms that are inside of the image, the larger rounded forms that require a lot of volume. And there are smaller forms there, like the legs of the horse is there and some of the smaller forms inside. But the larger forms, such as there and on the other horse and up in the torso of this warrior and in the neck of the other horse, we want to establish this large volumetric shape first before we put any smaller forms on. So I'm going to begin this process by using my lighter pencil, and I'm going to begin with a stroke, a light sweeping stroke that moves over the large mass and create a gradient that slowly just eases off the page and gives the illusion of the light fading and moving across a larger form. So holding my pencil way back with a light touch, I begin in the shadow area, and I begin with a sweeping motion that goes up into the light area in order to create a soft gradient. Now we've already started to do that with our edge preparation, but we're going to just take it another step further with this new sweeping stroke called big form modeling. So you'll notice I'm holding my pencil way back, and with a very light touch, I'm making a sweeping motion that lifts off the paper at the end of the stroke. I'm not scrubbing back and forth. I make a soft stroke, lift the pencil off, loop back, land in the shadow area, then make another soft stroke. And I do this in a very rapid fashion so that I'm getting this gradient building up quickly and efficiently. So the analogy I always use for this, think of it like the airplane takes off and then it comes back and it lands. The airplane takes off and then it comes back to land. So it's this constant looping motion that has this light sweeping stroke. And that's how we build this sense of form. Always with a light touch, holding the pencil way back with a very sharp tip. Also, I move around the perimeter of the form. I don't treat it like a flat surface. I go around the perimeter, working towards the center so that it has this round volumetric look to it. Careful to leave the area that is the highlight white. I work soft layer upon soft layer back and forth around the perimeter, and then I use my blending brush and my rag to smooth everything out. Creating this gradient that goes from the shadow up to the highlight in a very smooth, gradual way is what gives the illusion of form, a sense of volume, a sense of three-dimensionality. And so learning to create that gradient and see your values accurately in the context of that particular form is really critical to doing what is called turning the form. If there are any little residual lines left over, I can remove them and then just fill them in with the tip of my pencil. And what I'm trying to do is just create this soft, gradual gradient that goes around the entire form. And I just keep working it back and forth with this soft sweeping stroke, working towards the center, looking at my reference material, and getting a sense of where my values are in order to create and replicate what I'm seeing in the sense of that particular individual form. No details on the surface. We are interested in foundation building. This is what's going to create a sense of unity for the entire larger form before you start putting smaller forms on top. If I start to see little blotches and patches of medium building up, I simply go in with the tip of my eraser and simply pick the medium off. I don't rub and smudge. I'm able to just simply lift it off strategically where it's specifically building up. I keep the process going, building layer upon layer, keeping my edges beautiful and soft, creating this sense of form, and just keep going until I'm happy with the tonal value and the sense of larger form that I'm creating. But this process can be done on degrees of scale. We look for the biggest of the big forms in whatever figure we're working with. But then we go in gradually working into more and more detail. The smaller forms from there, the smaller forms on top of that. And basically, this is the way the entire process is done. And it really doesn't matter what stage you're at. We work from the large to the small, from the broad to the specific, in order to achieve this layered look that achieves a unified base, which we can then build a very fine finish. So continue to make your way through the whole image. For sure do these bigger ones that I have pointed out. The neck, the torso, and the two haunches of the horses. But then you can still go around to some of the other characters. Like I was looking at doing this arm and probably this shoulder. I can go back and do part of this hat. Probably this arm as well. This hat as well. So I just want to make sure that I've created this beautiful foundation for the rest of the drawing. And then that's it. The big form modeling is the end of the foundational process. Once we finish that, then we're going to go in with our other darker pencils and actually the full range of our pencils in the browns and the blacks and the whites, and we're going to begin to do the final finished drawing. And there you have it. The key to taking your drawings to the next level is to build strong, intentional foundations by working your form and your values. Most people skip this stage. They want to run to all those finishing layers right off the bat. They don't even realize that there is an underlying structure in place. But as you've seen, this is what actually makes your final layers shine. By creating form early on, what you do is unlock the ability to add depth, complexity, and polish to your work. This is just a preview of what's waiting for you on my full Da Vinci Battle Avanguardi course that's on Patreon. So if you're serious about pushing your artistic limits and learning the methods that can transform your drawings, join me on Patreon. There you'll get access to step-by-step tutorials, exclusive tips, and so much more. Simply go to the Patreon link at the end of this video and find out how. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to check out my other videos. And also remember to like, share, and subscribe for more transformational art videos and tips. Let's break some boundaries and create something extraordinary together. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.